Everyone's had one of those days, when being yourself just feels like way too much. Maybe you're standing in the bathroom, toothbrush in hand, and suddenly you're arguing in your head with someone about something that hasn't even happened. Or you finally carve out a quiet night for yourself, and just like that, your mind's working overtime, rattling off 100 things you should be doing instead. In those moments, honestly, just about everyone on Earth has wished for the same thing. I wish I could just step out for a bit, not in some big dramatic way, but more like finding a pause button on life. You want to set your whole existence down, like a heavy backpack, and poof, disappear for a while. The good news is that you can, and it doesn't take a plane ticket or a new identity. It takes about 10 minutes of honest looking. If you understand non-duality intellectually, but still find yourself getting pulled back into the same thoughts, reactions, and sense of being a separate self, this is exactly what our online course is designed to help with. You can find all the information in the description below. To start this disappearing act, we have to look at the elephant in the room: your thoughts. We've been trained to believe that we are the ones doing the thinking, like a pilot in a cockpit. But let's test that. Right now, a thought is appearing in your mind. Before you follow it, pause and look at something very simple. Who is this thought talking to? Don't answer with your name or a story. Just check your actual experience. Is there an actual listener sitting inside your head? Or is the thought just echoing in an empty space? If there were a real listener, you should be able to point to exactly where they are. You will notice that the thought doesn't even wait for an answer. It shows up, says its piece, and vanishes whether you respond or not. If you still feel like you are the one manufacturing these thoughts, try to predict your next thought. Don't try to force one. Just wait like a cat at a mouse hole. You will realize something mind-blowing. You have no idea what the next thought will be until it arrives. It shows up fully formed without your permission or consultation. If you don't design your thoughts and you don't know them before they appear, how can they belong to you? They arrive like weather or a sudden gust of wind. The thinker actually arrives after the thinking. Thought happens first, and then another thought arrives late to the party and says, "I thought that," claiming ownership as a narrator taking credit for a fire it didn't start. Now, as this thinker starts to wobble, let's look for where this me is actually hiding. Most of us feel located somewhere behind the eyes, maybe a few inches deep into the skull. It feels like a little command center where the knower lives. Investigate that location directly right now. Don't think about it. Just look at the spot where you assume you are sitting. Can you find an actual occupant there? Or do you only find sensations like pressure, warmth, movement, or images? Every center you find is itself being noticed. If you feel a me point in your chest or head, that sensation is an object of your awareness, which means you are the one watching it, not the sensation itself. That sensation is already being noticed, which means it cannot be the final you were looking for. The truth is that you can never really find who you are, because to find yourself, you would have to step out of yourself to see it, and then it would no longer be you, but an object you are looking at. You can never see yourself. You can only be yourself. This is where the observer starts to disappear too. The mind is clever. When it realizes it isn't the body or the thoughts, it tries to hide in a new identity called the witness, or the observer. But even this is just another mask, a more subtle role you are playing. There is observing happening, but there is no solid observer doing it. It's like seeing. Seeing is happening, but you can't find a tiny person behind your eyes performing the act. There is seeing without a seer, hearing without a hearer, and knowing without ownership. Now, let's look at the flesh suit you're wearing. We think of our body as a container that holds us, but look at the raw data. Sensation comes before the label "my body." Right now, there is pressure against your seat and warmth in your hands. These are just sensations. Only afterward does a thought show up and slap a label on them. My legs, my hands, my body. But where does your body actually end? Close your eyes and feel your arm. Can you find a hard wall where your skin ends and the air begins? Or is it just one continuous field of sensing that blends into the space around it? The skin is just a conceptual fence or caution tape that thought uses to divide me from the world. In reality, the body is appearing in awareness. It isn't awareness that is trapped inside the body. To see how little you are involved in being a person, try running your body manually. Imagine you had to consciously manage your heartbeat, adjust your pupils to the light, or oversee the complex chemistry of digesting your breakfast. You would be exhausted in seconds. Luckily, the system is already running perfectly without a personal manager. Attention itself moves without a manager. A sudden sound grabs your focus, then a thought, then a feeling. Did you choose each shift, or did attention move spontaneously? Move your hand and try to catch the decision. Look closely for the instant you manufacture the intention. You will find that the impulse appears, the movement happens, and then the narrator takes credit afterward with a subtitle that says, "I decided that." Raw experience exists before labels. There is color before the word blue and sound before the name of the song. If you really want to vanish, you have to look at the stories of yesterday and tomorrow. Look for yesterday right now. You won't find it anywhere except as a memory, a thought appearing now. Look for tomorrow. It is only anticipation or imagination happening now. The continuous person is assembled from memory. The feeling that one stable me has traveled through your entire life is just the mind stitching still frames together to create the illusion of a moving movie. Even your biggest problems are part of this disappearing act. Search for the owner of a problem like "I am stressed." If you separate the thought, "I'm failing," the sensation, tight chest, and the memory, past mistakes, where is the I they belong to? You will find that the problem can remain while the sufferer disappears. The sensation is real, but the extra structure saying "this means something about me" is a ghost. Thought is just commentary, not reality. It's like weather passing through a sky that doesn't need to follow it. So here is the secret. Nothing breaks when you disappear. You don't have to try to make yourself disappear, because the one trying is just another thought. Instead, just notice. Does awareness blink? Thoughts come and go. Sensations shift. And even in deep sleep, the person disappears without destroying being. You can't step outside of awareness to inspect it, because anything you find is already known by it. Everything you normally call yourself comes and goes, but the knowing of it stays steady. The 10 minutes are almost up. You might feel a little lighter, or maybe even a little confused. That's okay. The goal was to see that the manager, the thinker, and the sufferer are all ghosts. Habits of thought we've been practicing for years. The final disappearance is even the witness. Once the me who is being aware is seen as just another thought, even that role drops away. What remains doesn't need a name. The strange thing is that you never actually managed to disappear. Everything you called you disappeared under inspection, but what is actually here, this silent, effortless presence, never went anywhere. You aren't a character in a story trying to find peace. You are the space in which the whole story is being told. You don't have to pick up that heavy backpack of self when you walk away from this. you are already home, and you were never actually missing. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to this wonderful community for making this channel possible. A special thank you to our YouTube and Patreon members for supporting our work. And as always, have a nice day, and in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.